Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and checking out my channel. If you have not yet already, please subscribe, and if you haven't checked out my other videos, I have a whole bunch. So yeah, feel free to check those out. I do a little bit of beauty, fashion, workouts, reviews, stuff like that. So yeah, there's a little bit of something for everyone. But today I wanted to talk about my modeling experience. So I have done independent modeling for a few years now. I want to say it's been like almost 5 years that I have been independent modeling, and I just wanted to talk about my experience, tips I have for someone who wants to do it themselves, and some advice, things to look out for, because it can be a scary industry if you don't know what you're doing. So to begin with, I got into modeling basically. I always loved being in front of the camera. I love makeup, I love hair, I love everything to do with that, and I love getting my picture taken and coming up with cool creative ideas and looks and styles. So I kind of started out doing like promotional modeling. I found an agency called Push Models, and they will send you on assignments. You basically get all done up, you don't get your picture taken, but you promote something like a product, a brand. Sometimes you do like sampling for like drinks or food, and it's really good exposure, and you have to have good headshots in order to get booked. But I did that for a while, and that kind of got me into thinking, hey, maybe I can do this independently, but by doing like print work instead of, you know, promotional modeling. So I kind of stepped away from that, and then I found out about this platform called Model Mayhem. So Model Mayhem is basically a place where models and photographers meet. They can collaborate. There's paid assignments, unpaid assignments. There's a whole lot of things you can do on there, but basically you make a profile, you put whatever photos you have. The goal is to build your portfolio, and this is kind of where this platform comes in, to meet photographers who either pay you to do something that they need for their portfolio. So if they're looking for a look and they're basically calling the shots, sometimes they'll pay you. Depends. Prices always vary on the photographer. And then sometimes you do trade work, which is your time for photos. So they will give you an agreed amount of edited or unedited photos, whatever you guys come up with. Make sure there's communication between you two, because the last thing you want is to go through a whole shoot and then you don't receive anything, you never hear from them again, and you don't get any of your photos, and it's kind of like a lost opportunity. So make sure you establish something, whether it's like a model contract or a waiver or something like that, or some sort of text communication. Just leave a trail of that. So yeah, it's a way for both parties to build their portfolio. So that's kind of where I started and got my foot in the door with that. So I just want to talk about how those experiences have been. For the most part, I've had nothing but awesome experiences. I've worked with a lot of great photographers. Some of them, you know, have been in my area. Some of them I've had to travel like 2 hours to in order to do the photo shoot, and it's been great. There have been some times where it was kind of shady, or, you know, yeah, there's some funny stories. Definitely hit the thumbs up button if you want a crazy modeling experience story time, because I do have one in mind that I could tell, but I'm not going to get into that because there's a lot of details and it would take up the majority of this video. But if you are someone just starting off and you want to be an independent model, I have some suggestions and tips. So first of all, you want to be safe. Safety is number one when you're working for yourself and you don't know who you're working with. You want to make sure they have verified credits. And what this means is they've worked with real people before and they've said that they had a good experience working with this photographer. Sometimes it's a good idea to know of the photographer, you know, and get a network. You know, if you know someone who has worked with someone before and they're like, yes, I recommend them, great. If you're working with someone and you're taking a chance, I've been there, go with your gut. If your gut is giving you weird feelings like, I don't know if I trust this person, or the location seems sketchy, or you're just not sure, number one, always tell someone where you're going, where you'll be, give them their exact address, and try to give a brief time about how long the shoot will be. That way, if you said that you were going to a shoot that was supposed to last about 4 hours and you're there for like 8 or 9, that's probably not good. You always want to be safe. Let someone know where you are. And yeah, if your gut is just telling you that this person is weird and shady, just forget about it. It's not worth it. No amount of money is worth your life or, you know, your mental state. There's definitely been plenty of times where I just gave up an assignment even though it paid like maybe like $200 or $300, because sometimes it's too good to be true. If it sounds like this whole perfect situation, it's probably not that perfect. And yeah, so make sure you look at their work, make sure you do your research. And another thing I wanted to bring up was, so I do local work. I never travel out of state or stay with anyone. I know models who do like traveling work, and for the most part, you are not going to get booked unless you take off your clothes. Nude modeling is very, very lucrative, but it goes with the territory. You're getting naked and you don't know where these images are going. And oftentimes models who travel and stay with the photographers, which I think is very, very unsafe and very risky, they're definitely doing nude modeling. Photographers aren't going to pay big bucks unless they're getting something risque, and that's just the world we live in. That's just a fact. They're not going to pay you big bucks to wear jeans and a t-shirt. That's just not how it works. Personally, I have never done nude modeling. I was even very selective with lingerie modeling. I have done some boudoir shoots. I no longer do that because it's not in good taste anymore, and it wasn't my thing. I felt uncomfortable, and you know, I respect myself and, you know, people I have relationships with, and one day I'm gonna have kids and I don't want them to think that in order to make it in whatever field, you know, you have to compromise your dignity. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of work, but it depends what kind. So there's definitely a lot of work in the way of nude modeling, but that comes with a whole slew of risks, and I just say proceed with caution. But there definitely are models out there. I've met some, I've heard of some, and other photographers I've worked with have talked about some that, you know, have travel and stay with them and whatever, and it's fine, you know, but you just never know, because it just takes one time where you could get murdered or kidnapped or human trafficked. I mean, that stuff is so dangerous and so prevalent, and you don't think it's going to happen to you until it does. So don't give that the opportunity to happen, because your life is just too precious. And so another tip I have for getting booked for gigs is, if you do your own hair and makeup, or you know someone, you have a friend who does your hair and makeup, that is so crucial, because it could be a make or break whether a photographer is going to work with you or not. If they don't have the budget to book a hair and makeup person to do hair and makeup on you, if you're able to do makeup yourself, or you are able to come ready, that is something that a lot of photographers look for and will book you for. I can do my own hair and my own makeup, and I can't tell you how many times that has been in my favor, because I'm able to do that. so they didn't have to hire anyone or say, you know, sorry, we don't have a budget to hire someone to do your hair and makeup. So if you come ready and if you come with options like for your outfit and everything, that's definitely a plus. I would recommend doing that. So yeah, and as far as getting paid, try to always get cash. If it's ever anything like a wire transfer or like direct deposit, anything that has to do with like bringing your personal information into the mix, or like you don't get paid that day, even a check, I would say steer clear from, because you don't know if it's going to bounce. You can walk away from the shoot, cash the check or deposit the check, it comes back not real, and then you're out of money, and if anything you owe money then. So I would always just do check, or even PayPal. Have them PayPal you or Venmo you before you leave the shoot, so you know you have the money and you're not walking away empty-handed if there is an agreement that you are getting paid. So and also, like I said, an agreement for photos. If you're supposed to get photos, it's not a paid assignment, but your compensation is getting your work back. Make sure you stay on them about it, you get it in writing, you have some sort of contract set in place so that if they don't give you your photos, you can kind of get on their back about it because you have documentation, and that can help you out definitely in those situations. But I think those are all the tips I'm going to share with you guys for now. I probably have left some out, but I know that's the majority of what I've learned throughout my years of modeling. So if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share the video if you know of someone who would enjoy a video like this, or you know someone who's trying to get into independent modeling and these tips would help them out. But other than that, I hope you're having a great day, and until I see you next time, bye!